This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
You're listening to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Racial consultant standing by, caller 9, 844-999. Ola will play Profile This in minutes. And we do have your headlines on the way 1 hour from now. First, quick check into Mike Hawk for some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
All right, here's your feel-good story of the day. A former teacher in New Jersey passed away a few years ago. And it turns out she left $1 million to her school district to set up a scholarship fund for special needs students who want to continue their education after high school.
Nice. You know, that does sound good, but I'm thinking if I'm a fellow teacher, like, what did you pay her that she had $1 million goddamn dollars?
You led with led with a feel good today. You're just feeling like right out of the gate, everyone's got to feel good.
That's right, man.
I appreciate that.
Bringing it up.
Yeah, man.
Bringing it up.
Here comes the bad stuff, right?
Yeah, now
you're setting us up.
Now, here's a turd sandwich.
Now we're going downhill. A new study looked at millions of Instagram posts and found that beer is more popular than wine in 48 states.
What are the 2 states that prefer wine?
Oh, I can tell you, yeah. No.
What do you think?
Well, number 1 would be California. California. Even though they have great beer, some of the best beer I've ever had in my life.
I know California produces great
wine. The Napa Valley.
But, I get it. But when you go to California, like if I go to Southern California, wine is not the thing. You know,
no, it's more
if
like
I live in Napa,
more like Ballast Point and Stone Brewing Company.
So what's the other one then, Miles?
Russian River, delicious beer. What do you mean as far as
there's 2 states that one's better.
New York. New Jersey.
Miles, you are absolutely wrong on both accounts. It's Mississippi and Kansas.
Like wine better?
Yes.
Huh.
What are you doing in Biloxi?
Good for those guys.
Come on.
Hey, man, do you like what you like? If you like to catch a buzz, just get it on.
Is there just not as many people on Instagram down there?
I have no idea, Ted.
Or the people that are on love wine, I guess.
Yeah, that seems wild.
I'd like to see the other breakdown as far as the alcohol consumption is concerned. You know what I mean? Like, just as far as like what people drink where. Mm-hmm. Local beers, all that crap.
And what do you think is more popular between red wine and white wine?
Depends on the time of the year, I bet.
Red wine.
Well, no, it depends on dinner time, probably, right?
I guess got 2 votes for red. What are we thinking, Miles?
I think that it depends on what you're eting. So, like, if it's
I'm
in
going to say red.
Red or white, man?
Red's going to win.
I have no idea. I'm not working on it.
Jesus. It's the same joke.
All that for nothing.
The same joke every day.
That's right.
It does get old.
Still makes Ted laugh. What's the best time of the weekend?
Friday night.
All right, I got a Friday night. Anybody else?
Saturday at noon.
I would say other people say Saturday night. I'm with Ted, and I say Friday night.
According to a new survey, 23% say Friday night, 15% Saturday night, and 4% Sunday night.
So the closer you get to it being over, the worse off it is.
How bad are your weekends?
Well, just once you started out, you got a lot of time. And then
That's right. Friday night feels good.
Like, woo, I got 2 days. Mm-hmm. And then Saturday night's like, woo, I got a day.
I just feel like I can get,
like I'm going to work.
You wow out on a Friday night. It's like, I got 2 days, bro.
That's right. To recover, right?
Sleep this off. 69% of people say they check their phones when they're using the toilet, according to a new survey.
Yeah, how else do you read news?
Right? 31% of people are lying. And the majority of them do it on a daily basis.
You ever taken a picture of what you've done?
I've been incredibly... Well, you know what? I might have actually once. Because it was epic enough I needed to send it.
I just did that for the first time.
What was it? Was it just too big of a file, or did it, was it a really long one?
You know what it was, man?
Question mark?
I just got done running that half marathon, and I've been holding it in for like 7 miles, so it just all compacted.
Okay.
And then I just could not believe how much it was. I really could not. And then I was like, I really have to take a picture of it.
I think the one that
I've never had anything that gargantuan in my life. It was amazing.
Dude, my new toilet doesn't have a ton of water in it.
Right.
So it just looks like massive ones every time. They're getting beached.
So you're like a big fish in a real small pond.
Right. Yeah.
It's like putting a shark in a swimming pool, man.
That shark looks huge.
Right? Another award winner.
Do they at least disappear into the bottom of the toilet, Ted?
Does that make you feel better? It makes you feel more regular about that, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Well,
you just feel
man.
accomplished.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't waste your time in there.
But an honest question, man, does it streak the bowl more? I would think if the water level's lower, man, there's a lot, you know what I mean? Like a lot more bowl to, that's no good, man.
It's not.
Here are some results from a new study on weddings. 64% of people say the planning process is stressful. 20% say their spouse wasn't involved, and that was a good thing.
That's called the bride, yeah.
1 out of 3 brides in New York give their bridesmaids specific instructions on how tan they should be.
I saw something about my black ass is like, ha! Don't invite the Nigerians. I mean, like, what the hell? It's all good.
Julie, you are not coming in here not tan. All right.
No, but I'm betting based on where that survey is, you can't be more tan than the bride.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, see, I think she's just calling out her pale friends.
No, man. Listen, no.
Pasty Kate over here.
We go to the Jersey Shore. You got to be tan.
And I hope women especially understand this. If you are a bridesmaid, right? You know, you never like your bridesmaid's dress, and you can wear it somewhere else, and you know damn well you can't, and you know you're not going to, and all of you complain about. They want you to look ugly.
Yes.
They want you to be pasty, and they would prefer it if you just didn't wear makeup or do your hair. If you go one of those little mustache over your lips like Kim Kardashian, they would love you to come in like that. The bride wants to look spectacular and wants you to look like absolute garbage that day. Make no mistake about that.
It's her day.
A new study found the average man can work 47 hours a week without getting burnt out. And for women, it's just 34 hours. Any ideas why?
Because women are on us sooner. I'm tired of this S.
How about because when they get home, they have to do other stuff like care for the dude, take care of the kids, clean the house. Other things that I shouldn't say they have to. They just do.
They do, right. Okay.
Because guys are lazy. 1 out of 3 people say...
Not all of them.
Yeah.
Not all of them.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
trust me. That's just on TV. That's the
I think
TV.
in the world, though, of that world, you two are definitely the exception to that.
We're
I'm not saying
exception.
all guys are lazy,
Right.
but
overwhelmingly.
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah.
man. There's no doubt about it.
All right, you guys are some lazy asses making us all look bad.
That's how it works.
I bought her flowers, though. 1 out of 3 people say they're
I ignored
the right color.
I ignored the holiday. And look what I am. That cleaning toilets doesn't get you crap. If you
Right.
don't freaking deliver
You
on the
forget
holiday,
Valentine's Day.
you're an ass.
1 out of 3 people say their main financial plan is inheriting money from their parents, according to a new study.
That's a hell of a
Come
plan.
on, man.
That includes 63% of people under 22.
If I get $1 the day I die, I'm burning it. You know what I mean?
no, and people under 22, honestly, like with this one, like they don't have a financial plan. They're under 22.
Yeah, right.
So the only windfall they could foresee right now, or
Gee, whole parents die.
yeah, well,
Sooner
yeah.
than later.
A man in Michigan
For
recently...
most people, that'll be the biggest like amount they'll get in one shot.
That's what my kids think.
A man in Michigan recently got in a fight with his wife over kitty litter and tried to set her on fire.
Good God, man.
He's unapologetic about it.
She suffered some pretty bad burns but survived. He's facing up to 50 years in prison for it.
Yeah.
Yes, well, he should. A new study ranked the best cities for gamers based on average broadband speeds and things like how many video game stores there are.
San Francisco,
Beijing.
number 1, San Jose.
Ted, any guesses?
You know, I'll say Seattle, Washington.
All right, Thrill?
Like I said, Beijing, China. Nothing in the state. We have the worst goddamn internet. But here in the, I don't know. Yeah, San Fran, I guess.
Ted nailed it right on the head. Seattle's number 1.
Okay.
I don't know the rest. I'm not working on it.
There's a lot of gamers.
That's right. Nerd. Burger King has a new menu item called Crispy Pretzel Chicken Fries.
Think about that. I want you to digest that in your brain before you taste it.
Not me.
Crispy Pretzel Chicken Fries. I'm in.
Crispy pretzel chicken fries. What is what? We can determine that crispy happens somehow from the deep fryer.
Yes.
We can understand the pretzel somehow is worked in.
It's basically
Fries
normal.
somehow.
It's basically normal chicken fries covered in pretzel breadcrumbs.
Oh,
normal chicken fries.
Yeah.
normal chicken fries.
See there. Now we can digest them in our tummies.
I like the idea. Some guy was like, we should take this chicken fry, shove it inside a pretzel bun.
Jesus,
Deep fry that thing.
so
Yeah.
complicated.
A man
I
in
bet it's good.
A man in Florida had the perfect explanation as to why he had a hatchet hidden in his car.
Why is that?
I'll tell you all about it 1 hour from now.
Thank you, Mike Cock. Headlines are on the way 1 hour from now. First, the game is...
The Men's Room presents Profile
Hey,
This.
Stephen Throw can you please tell everyone now Profile This is played.
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. Earth. And as you listen to the stories, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Daniel. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, gentlemen. Happy Friday to all.
Hola! All right, Daniel, you understand how this here game is played?
Yes, sir, I do.
Fantastic.
I like his excitement level.
I do too.
Hey, man, the enthusiasm, it's a little contagious. Now I'm feeling good, feeling fired up. Here's your story, man. Now, this guy, his face may be covered in tattoos, but police say that this guy's private parts were not covered at all. At least not when officers spotted him in the Pinch district of Memphis. The 33-year-old pleaded guilty to indecent exposure after officers say they saw him expose his genitals to passing drivers. When officers approached him, he quickly put his clothes back on. Now, police say they spotted him just on a routine patrol of the area. And basically, the suspect, he was assessed with roughly $400 in fines and fees and given 2 days in jail. But this is not the first time he's been behind bars. 2010, he was accused of openly pleasuring himself in front of a female guard at a jail medical room. And in 2014, his wife told police that he beat her at a Wingstop. That's all we know about this guy. My question for you is, do you believe that he is black, white, Mexi, or Asian?
Well, I have a good idea, but I would like to hear your official opinions from the racial consultant.
Daniel, I can't help you on this one. Once again, unfortunately, I read the story.
What was it again?
It's in Memphis,
He did what
Tennessee.
to his wife?
She said back in 2014. So the story I presented to you is the third time that he has been arrested. The second time was in 2014. His wife told him that he beat her at a Wingstop. And that is the end of the information they get.
But lately, he was arrested for exposing his genitals to numerous people in the Memphis area.
So
he's
what part of Memphis? You said
walking
the Pinch
around
District?
It's called the Pinch District. I have no idea where that is.
It's called the Pinch District.
I know. That's the
You're
irony.
pinching people or you're getting pinched by the cops?
I don't know. That's something.
Yeah, but he's standing there and he's just flashing his junk at people driving by.
His face is completely tattooed. If that's a clue, if that helps anybody. I
Well,
don't really
it makes
think
you real easy to pick out of
Yeah,
the
and that's
lineup.
what that was the problem. He got busted because his face is covered in tattoos, and someone said the guy with the tattooed
That's him.
face is the guy who's doing this. And they went, oh, that guy right there, the only one with the tattooed face.
I mean, tattooed face in the South, I'm going to say black.
Daniel, what's your final answer?
Now, was his wife beaten at a wig or wing store?
Wing,
Like
wing,
chicken wing.
chicken wing,
A
wing
place
stop.
called Wingstop, yeah.
I'm going to go white.
White final answer. We're going to find out if he was black, white, Mexican, or Asian next.
That was a tease.
You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Hola, bichola. You have entered the men's room.
Profile that takes us to Memphis, Tennessee. And a man who was out there exposing his stuff. He liked to show random people
What stuff?
his stuff. The stuff
Oh,
that he's
that
got.
stuff.
His stuff.
The only part of your body that they call stuff.
Everyone that he showed him to told the cops one thing. Look, whoever this guy was, he had tattoos all over his face. It turns out he was a repeat offender. His ex-wife said at one point in time that he beat her at a Wingstop, which is, as Ted and I said earlier, Steve and I said, like, who in the hell gets in a fight at Wingstop?
It's Wingstop, man. Just get your
be
goddamn
happy.
wings.
I said lemon pepper.
Right, exactly. Was the gentleman black, white, Mexican, or Asian?
You know, the funny thing about it is, here he is exposing his junk, and the only thing anyone remembers is his face.
Yeah.
Just saying. That's some unmemorable junk. Junk.
Oh, I thought I was just looking at the twig. I was looking at the twig, not the berries.
Yeah,
Maybe I was
sorry.
checking out the wrong part.
But Daniel, we asked you. Did you believe this guy was black, white, Mexican, or Asian? In the end, you went white.
That is correct.
That is incorrect.
Oh, sorry.
Whoops. Sorry, Daniel. That is incorrect. He was
Ted, you're on a streak this week, man. He was, in fact, black.
black.
And Ted pieced
Facial
it together. He
tattoos
said,
in the
man,
South?
it's in Memphis. He's got tattoos on his
Oh, my
face.
goodness.
95% chance it's a black dude, right?
Very good. Very good. Now for all TV news all the time, and it's time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
So everybody heard the story about the FBI agent that shot a dude in Denver.
Oh, doing the backflip.
Correct.
Gun fell out. He picks, and I mean, the second he touches his gun to pick it up, it fires and shoots a dude in the leg.
Correct. That dude's name is Thomas Redding.
All right.
ABC News caught up with him. I just don't know that I could be this chill about it as Thomas is.
I heard a loud bang, and I thought, oh, some idiot set off a firecracker. All of a sudden, from the knee down became completely red. And that's when it clicked in my head, oh, I've been shot.
Party shot in the leg.
I originally thought, when I found out I got shot, it was an altercation that I got hit in the crossfire of, because civilian casualties like that, those happen. But when I saw him do a backflip, I couldn't help but laugh. There was no pointing. There was no aiming. I don't blame the guy. I don't want to ruin his life. I just want a private phone call from this guy. I just want to focus on my leg getting better than anything else, you know? I don't want to blame anybody, throw anybody under the truck. I just want to heal.
All right. Oh, wow. There's a lot of different things there. First of all, you're throwing someone under the bus, not the truck.
Yeah, hang on. If you go watch the whole interview with him at the Men's Room Facebook page, because he is that chill about the whole thing.
I mean, I guess in the end, the only thing you can really say, you know, and I kind of understand being chill because it's like, look, he probably saw the video, so look, I get it. These things happen. The only thing that really sticks in your head more than anything else is like, this isn't Plaxico Burress. This isn't your dumbass friend. Like, you're a goddamn FBI agent, man. You know what I mean? Like, we would at least trust you to not accidentally shoot us based on the fact that you did a backflip at a bar.
I'm pissed at anybody that drunkenly brings a weapon into the bar and mistakenly shoots me. Sorry, I don't care if you're FBI or just a regular dude. Like, I'm going to be pissed about that. Like, why did you do that?
Hold on. Not only that, but, I mean, you have to realize what he said. He said that he would respect a phone call, a private phone call from the... So, okay, let's just assume that you come up to a light and you accidentally bump someone in the back, and maybe there's no damage. Maybe you get out of the car and you look, and maybe there is damage, and you give it, you know, the information or whatever. You still say, hey, man, that's my fault. If I hit you from the back, I'm sorry, right? Look, it was my fault. I wasn't paying attention. I bumped your car. Even if there's no damage, I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. For whatever reason, I don't know what happened there.
Sure.
I just, you know, I'm sorry. I did not shoot you. I accidentally bumped into you, and I want you to know it was not intentional. My intent was not to bump into your car today. I'm glad there's no damage. Sorry. Or if there is, I'm still sorry. Here's my number. Now, when you shoot someone, I would just, maybe I'm wrong, common courtesy, I don't know, but I would expect that you would go like, oh my God, I am so sorry. Like, as the person's on the ground, it doesn't just go away like, I've been shot, I'm going to keep on drinking and partying, and then later I'm like, oh, I never caught that guy who got shot. Like, he's on the ground, he's bleeding, it was your gun, you didn't go up to him and apologize?
Nope. You saw the video, the dude just walked, that's what I'm saying, like situationally, I don't care who it is, like, you brought a gun in here, you're drinking, you're acting like a jackass, and you shot me.
Right.
Like, yeah. Like, I mean, granted, there's legal weed in Colorado, so maybe that's why Thomas is so chill about it. I would just still, I'd be pissed.
I just can't believe that you can shoot someone and then not acknowledge it and not go up to the person and say something.
All right. You know what? I'm going to play one more thing till we have to get serious. So, when championships happen, the teams are very excited, okay? I don't know why. I noticed this years ago with, I want to say, Colorado. The Avalanche won a championship. Mm-hmm. Remember, Ray Bourque was on that team. People were fired up for him. So in hockey, when you win the Stanley Cup, as the Washington Capitals did, you skate around with the cup, and then it's kind of like a tradition who you're going to hand it off to next, this and that. But when they first hoist it up, or when the team first wins, I don't know why you bother miking them, because you get that microphone close to them, you're going to hear a lot of curse words.
Celebrate on the ice.
Like, to this day, I'm just like, and if you're cool with
but they let it go that long.
Right, like, what do you, I mean, first of all, it's hockey. Just the term F boys, you know what I mean? I mean, that's just, if you play hockey, people just say that all the time, like, let's get a beer, blah, blah, blah. It's just, just heck boys. Let's do this or that, or heck boys, let's, this or that. So, that F word, they're not saying heck, it's coming out a lot. I'm just like, they just won the Stanley Cup. Like they're going to curse.
It's not that it matters. It's just that, everyone has the weird freak out. You get all the broadcast crap. But it's like, listen, man. And I don't care what it is. And I know that if you're part of the media, you know better than this too. All right. So it doesn't matter the sport. If you won, there's a lot of F-bombs because people are celebrating. If you lost, there's a lot of F-bombs because people are commiserating. But if you roll basically into their world, then just deal with whether you see the penis because the guy is stepping out of the shower, whether you're the F-bomb. Like, if you're going to step into their world, man, then you have nothing to complain about, right?
Yeah.
That's all. I mean, if you get the F up, like, I can't believe this. You don't have to believe it. Just know that it's true, right? No big deal. But if you step in their world, man, then just be prepared for
some of the stuff, honestly, we don't need. Like, they just won, right? That's a private moment for that team. You know, we're going to see him skate around on the ice and stuff, but, like, you could show what they're doing, but, like, we don't need to hear that audio. That's a bunch of dudes that worked their ass off to win that championship, right? Like, let them, you know, I mean, we don't need a microphone in there, and we can guess what most of it is. F yeah, we effing did it, blah, blah, blah.
Look,
I hate this.
The way the law is interpreted in that world that we live in is based on have titillating content. So as far as the way that the legal system works, as far as the police of it is, just don't do anything that is sexually gratifying to the point where you're trying to turn someone on in a sexually gratifying way.
So then I should just shut up.
These, you don't talk.
I can't even talk anymore, ladies.
Not in your Barry White voice. But
sorry, Mama.
But that's really it. Like, oh my God, please
I hear you, dude.
Please don't say anything that would have anyone have sex. Here are some words that you cannot use. In those instances, if you want to, for the most part, I get it, but I think that when it's real and when it's coming across as a real statement from someone, whether it's F yeah, I just won the Stanley Cup, or these are some S-hole countries, in that context, I'm not going and rubbing one out based on, that whole idea.
Well, you're not.
No.
So, like, it doesn't do anything for me.
But besides even the legal aspect, I'm just saying, like, you're going to beep it.
Right.
You have to beep it. Like,
right. Yeah.
They're going to curse. Like,
yeah.
Right. Like, again, we don't need to hear it. Like, just let them celebrate. Watch people.
Yeah, you shouldn't have a mic.
Right. Like, watching them celebrate is awesome. Which, I will also say this. Obviously, I am biased. I grew up a Capitals fan.
You got to be geeked.
Yeah, I was so pumped last night. But screaming in your house by yourself after a while, just
how about,
crazy.
Did you get the late night, could you make some late night calls to friends, to family?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
My brother ran out to Dick's Sporting Goods, right? And they bought shirts that night.
After the championship.
And what time was it on the East Coast? He's watching it in D.C., basically,
so,
right?
1 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, it had to be.
And Dick's is awesome. Like, I guess in D.C. they're open like, hey, we got your jerseys?
Yeah. And then my niece thought my brother was kind of losing it because, they're teenagers and he's out on the deck going like, put on shorts. Kind of like I did.
They've never seen never seen a Washington football.
They've never seen a team do anything. So they're spraying champagne on the porch, and then he goes, "Hey, my nephew, of course, he's like a mom to these dogs. I don't want him to get drunk. It's like it's on the porch. It's fine." Sure. So then he's like, "Hey, get in the car. We're going to get shirts right now." Nice. The story I heard is that he honked the horn the entire way.
Good.
So of course my niece, who was 15,
1 in the morning,
right, it's just mortified.
So is everyone else. No, it's fine.
But the whole town was.
Yeah, exactly. And that's these experiences only happen once or twice in your lifetime if you're lucky.
So far once.
So, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, ask the people in Philadelphia. It's not like anything else, man. When they had basketball, they had a good year, but I was happy to see the Capitals win. Vegas will get theirs. There's no doubt about it. They'll get the 1 year, man. You know what I mean? They'll be just fine. But
that's what they said about Dan Marino. You'll be I'm sorry. No matter how good
that's a guy,
you are,
not a franchise.
But no matter how good you are, man, like when the shot is there, find the will to win because there's just no freaking guarantee, no matter how good you are.
But the Heat will win you one. You know what I mean?
Terrell Owens, right?
Some of the Florida Marlins will win you one. Like, you'll get one in the city, but it just takes a long time to get it.
Cleveland Browns.
They're not helping.
It's like that one
Detroit
chance.
Lions.
But Cleveland got
the
it
Mariners.
with the basketball team. Like, but you only get it
that's
once.
True. Okay, right.
Every so often, like in one aspect
you should celebrate it. Trust me,
Totally.
they're going to take off school and go to the parade.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah.
Which is even funnier is the entire family, 2 students, and then an administrator and a teacher. So the whole family has.
It's been a long time since Washington, D.C. had a championship.
But it's almost unfair because it's basically the end of the school year for them.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they're missing garbage. Like, come on, man. Like, at least if you win the Super Bowl, the World Series, like, that's quality school time you get to miss. Yeah. That makes you feel better,
Hey, any day out is good, especially for my nephew. All right. There's no easy way to transition in this. Just a very sad story. Anthony Bourdain, world-renowned chef, author, TV personality. You would know him from No Reservations. And then, of course, he moved over to CNN with Parts Unknown. But he passed away from suicide.
He did.
Yeah. And Bourdain is one of those people that did I read a great article on him that they were just saying, like, he could go across the world and tell the story of a food without trying to be that culture. If that makes sense. Like, no offense, but sometimes you go to restaurants that, let's just say, it's a specific taco restaurant, right? Mm-hmm. But, it's just couple American dudes working there or whatever, and it's like, I don't know. It almost seems like they're trying too hard. Whereas like Bourdain was very good about just telling you the story of the food, and I like that he always ate soups and stews and this and that, because no matter what your culture is, I can guarantee you there's something that cooks all day that you and your people eat.
And something in a tube, as you pointed out.
And not only that, but he normally would go to someone's family and eat their home. And I can tell you from, man, I haven't been back to West Virginia for a number of years, but I'm from there. He went there, and he was as kind and as gracious to the people of West Virginia, which is, rare. Most of the time, it's 50th state in this and crap, and it's not the, obviously it's the worst for a reason in the United States, but he left there and showed the people in a great light, and then he would go to France the next week and show the people of France in a great light. It was just weird that everyone was on the same level, because you don't really always think about that depending on where you're from and what food does.
Well, and I didn't think about it, but some of the chefs, like some chefs are coming out today and saying like, look, like I grew up in this country or that country, and it's like, you wanted Bourdain to go to your country because he would show, you know what I mean? Like it's some places, like you're right, West Virginia. Unfortunately, most of what we see in West Virginia is just going to be the bad stuff, right? So that's what you wanted him to go to your town, because he would highlight the good stuff.
He did this amazing thing that almost no one does in media now, and I don't care what side of the fence you're on; they're both stupid. But you'll probably agree with this: no one does anything without spin, right? It is impossible, apparently, for anyone in broadcast to do anything without a heavy spin. And here was a guy that, like you said, this is the place I'm at, this is its history, this is the food, that's it.
And why
Nothing
they serve
else.
what they serve.
And that's it, man. And nothing else about it.
And how it brings a community together. And food does that, like music. Like there's a lot of things that bring people together of all, different walks of life. And there's a handful of them. It's basically the things that we all do. Yeah. And because if we all do them right, we can all relate to them.
Right. And music and food are two things that just, you can know.
So cross-cultural.
Right. And you can know what somebody's culture or what they're about through the food and the music.
Right. Look, and there's nothing wrong with Guy Fieri going and like having the craziest food ever at places, but it was more about going into a culture and instead of going to the cool little restaurant, or just kind of diving in and just the experience of that city, what it's going through, that country, what it's going through, the roots of the food. It was a little bit more on the PBS side of things as far as just your education level and learning a little bit about that whole thing.
I like the Bourdain too. Like obviously he went to high end joints, but he also went to a lot of dive bars and this and that. Like
sure,
you could watch and you know what? I shouldn't say just that he went to all the different places. I like that he still enjoyed like a hot dog.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes, you can get ahead in life and kind of, I don't know, it's a terrible thing to turn on the hot dog. I'm just saying, I kind of respected that he was this fancy dude, but still was like, I like tube-shaped meat.
I think because there's an inherent truth about food, and if you work in the industry, you certainly know this to be true. If you want to get the food of a place, if you want to understand the culture of a city or a country, then go to the dive bar because they make the stuff that the people there eat. You can find a quote-unquote nice restaurant anywhere, and the nicest restaurants I went to in D.C., the nicest ones I went to in Baltimore, the nicest ones I went to in Seattle, they're exactly the same, right? All these chefs, they compete to basically do the same thing. They just hope they do it better than the other guy, but your crap's all the same, and maybe you do this a little better, but that's the thing. There's nothing cultural about it. It's your homage to your training from going to school. But the dive bars and the cheap restaurants, like, look, man, if you go to any city, you can say, hey, man, this is the finest restaurant in town. And when you go there, it's going to be exactly the same as the finest restaurant in this town. If you go to the local bar, whatever that city's into, man, like, that's going to be the food that tells you the truth.
Do it. Sometimes I'll have friends on the West Coast that say, hey, I'm going back to D.C. Where should I go?
Ben's Chili Bowl.
Well, it's hard. I have to fight the instinct to be like, just go get Old Bay wings at the Turtle.
Right. But that's what you would tell them.
You want a nice restaurant. Not that the Turtle's bad, but it's like, you want a fancy joint. All right.
Yeah, then pick anything. They're all the same, right?
Yeah, no. When he came into town here, he didn't go to the fancy places. He went to one, what I would call a couple of fancy places, but not really. He went to one fancy place I've been with my dad. My dad watches the episode. He calls me up and he goes, he went to every place you took me to. And I was like, God damn it. You know what I mean? I was like, and then I watched the excerpts. I never saw the whole thing, but the pieces that he did.
Well, he came through Seattle 3.
And I was hoping that, but at this point in time, he went to every single place that was just in my neighborhood it wasn't the acclaimed place. It wasn't, you know what I mean? Like,
but it's the place that's good.
It's the local local place
Right.
where people hang out. It's the story of the locals and the
It's
people
the
that
place
hang out
that
there,
will
you know,
stay
like-
in business.
Right. Like he was playing pinball at frickin' Atta-Ball.
Right. This
Which
place
is where I
is-
go when I'm stoned and just want to play pinball.
But you can say, like, this place has been here for 60 years. It seats 20 people, and the owner smokes cigarettes in the kitchen.
Yeah.
This place has been here for 3 months, and it's the place that's exactly the same in every other goddamn city. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a nice dinner, but to me, I'm like, man, it's the same as going to a nice restaurant in any city I've ever been to. It's the same.
The only
freaking
thing
crap.
that gets me, I don't want to hear our take. Serve me the food. Our take on, like an old fashioned is damn old fashioned, man. You don't have a take on it.
Right. Did you invent it?
Our take.
All right.
On
What is like
pancakes.
being in a cover band? This is our take.
Our take on pancakes
Right,
and
you did a
balls.
cover song.
But we're not as good as the original band.
What was the most inadvertent kind of funny thing we've done on the show recently? And it was funny to everybody except me. I'll give you a hint.
What was it?
I thought it was Miles' misspelling, perhaps, yesterday.
No? Maybe something a little alarming. Remember we had the fire alarm go off?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well, it wasn't funny.
No, that was just life and
You
death.
guys were yucking it up.
We were, because we were hoping we would just be done with this.
Well, it's not just us. Even at Stephen Colbert's studio, things go wrong sometimes.
Executive Clemency is officially just a reality TV show at this point. Hold on. Cheese it! It's the cops! I don't know what's going on here. Fire alarm?
Not sure why. I don't have smoke going or anything. Wow. That's cool.
Well, this is a first. Let's just keep rolling. There's a fire alarm going on in the Ed Sullivan Theater right now because these jokes are so hot.
One thing we learned, a fire alarm does not care if you are on the air.
It waits for no one.
It does really.
You know what? It's also the best thing about fire alarms.
That is a good point.
Thank you, Tim. We appreciate it. All right. Mike's got your headlines here coming up in minutes. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Florida man pulled over with a hatchet tells cops he travels with it because of all the scumbags there. We go to England where a couple becomes Randy in a cemetery in daylight and goes completely bare. Man sells stock photo on internet and is now the face of not getting it up. A family's camera shows a child escaping room with the help of 2 pups. And Yellowstone once again has to remind visitors to stay away from the bison. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my car.
Our top story. A man in Florida was arrested for driving with a suspended license following a DUI conviction. While arresting the man, police found a concealed hatchet shoved between the driver's seat and his door. The officers asked the man why he would hide the hatchet, and he responded by saying the people in Florida were scumbags.
Well, can't really argue that, but I don't know if you need a hatchet.
Just to the point that you actually need a hatchet to keep yourself safe.
We read a lot of stories out of Florida, man.
Yeah.
I don't know that I can disagree with this guy.
But a hatchet, Ted.
A hatchet.
It's a Molly hatchet.
But it's Florida, so who knows? A hatchet might work.
True enough.
A guy just saved his
Skater
wife
country.
with a bottle of ketchup by squirting someone.
That is a fact. In other news, it's another episode of Man vs. Beast.
Uh-oh.
This one takes us once again to Yellowstone National Park, where people continue to break the rules of nature.
This is not man versus beast. This is the idea of getting in the zone or a space of an animal that you shouldn't.
Therefore, Man versus Beast. We take the land, Miles.
Yes, exactly.
We take the land.
Okay.
The woman of the story was in a group of people that made their way about 30 feet from a herd of bison, with some even making their way as far as 15 feet away from them. One of the animals became agitated and, what do you know, attacked the group. This woman in question was taken to the hospital with a hip injury.
Yeah, that's exactly what you should expect to happen.
There's a giant cow running into you because it's mad. Damn it. An interesting story in New Jersey.
Are
When
we
one...
hating on the guy or the bison now? Calling him a giant cow. Show him some respect.
Well, that's what it is, man. It's a giant cow. Just got a big old fat head on it. And it's dangerous.
It's a cow with a fat head.
That's right.
Call it
Uh-oh.
a bison.
Calling it what it is, Ted. Big old cow.
Fat head cow.
An interesting story in New Jersey when one police officer stopped another. On a routine traffic stop, the police officer on duty got into a conversation with the elder man inside the car. During the stop, the man in the car admitted that he used to be a police officer in the area and even mentioned that he had responded to a house call and ended up delivering a baby on that call.
Oh, no way.
That's when the officer on duty admitted that he was that baby that the man had delivered. The officer did let the man off without a ticket.
I was going to say,
Nice.
man, there's no way you're getting a ticket at
Right?
that point.
I really wanted to finish the story with he was ticketed for having tinted windows.
And arrested.
This kind of relates to a question that we had on an earlier episode. In Greater Manchester, a couple were spotted getting it on in a local cemetery by passing cars.
They were on top of a above-ground tomb.
Yes.
It was pretty blatant.
The video was taken by a commuter passing by, showing the couple having sex on a headstone that was placed back in the 1890s.
Dang right, it was a headstone.
Ah, damn it.
Rock hard.
Damn it.
You know.
Oh, man.
The man called them scruffy C's and drove off. Scruffy C's.
Oh, come on. And why? Okay. Forget it, whatever.
Yeah, you scruffy.
This wouldn't be the first thing. When I was in Scotland, there was a guy peeing on a wall, and what did he call us? Tossers. That's like the big insult over there.
Because he's peeing on a wall.
Right, because we were looking at him, because he's peeing on the dadgum wall.
Fuck off, you old hag.
That's it for your headlines. With that, Mike Hawk is up.
Thank you, Mike. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time for the random question. Your guess is as good as mine. The return of Men's Room Rules. We'll drink a toast with a shot of the day and profile this.
Yes, indeed. It is all true, but in the meantime, we be all about this match. So until next time, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.